Hi there, my name is Kronenberg and welcome to my channel. This is a film review of Mother Riley Meets the Vampire. It's a comedy horror, I'll definitely put it more as a comedy. Came out in 1952, it's rated U, I think. Yeah. It's an hour and 14 minutes. It's only available on a totally different website, so I'll just give you the IMDb rating. It's 3.9. I actually found it on the archive .org website, so I've linked to the video at the bottom. So I'll just read the IMDb synopsis. Vampire seeks world domination via experiments. Mistakenly delivered radar-controlled robot transports him and Mother Riley, leading to confrontation as she tries stopping Vampire's scheme. So the director is John Gillin, who directed The Gamma People. Producer, well, there's two of them, but with producer on, we have John Gillin again, and he produced Fury at Smuggler's Bay. Music was by Lindo Southworth, who did Cheer the Brave. Now the cast, obviously I've just picked the main ones. So we have Arthur Lucan, who was Mother Riley, who was in Old Mother Riley's Ghosts. Apparently this person's just done loads and loads of Mrs. Riley's. Bela Lugosi was Professor Von Heusen, who was also the vampire in this thing, and he's also been in Dracula. Dora Bryan, who was Tilly, she was in the series Last the Summer Wine. It's a British sitcom thing. Philip Lever, who was Anton, who was in The Lady Vanishes, and Ian Wilson, who was Hitchcock, who was in The Wicker Man. It was filmed in Nettlefold Studios, Walton-on-Thames in Surrey, in England. It's got a few known as. So it's known as Dracula's Desire, Mother Riley Runs Riot, Carry On Vampire, My Son the Vampire, The Robot and the Vampire and the Robot, and Vampire Over London. Some trivia. After the film's completion, the costume of the vampire's robot was put on display in the foyer of a Birmingham cinema. Years later, the costume wound up in a private collection in England for 20 years, before it was auctioned, minus the glass dome on its head, and sold for £1,680 at Bonhams of London on December 2010. So there you go, some interesting stuff. Now, like I say, I'll link the video where I got it from, because there's no copyright on it anymore. But I actually downloaded it just so I didn't have to, because you can download it from that website. It actually says it's Vampire Over London when the video starts. That's the title of it. So that's the actual proper name of the film. Credits music is quite jolly. There's an ocean liner, and I kind of liked how the credits kind of melted. You know, like there was a word saying, I don't know, music by so and so, then kind of melted away. Then the next one came on. That's quite nice. Obviously, I don't read synopses when I watch these films. I like to watch them kind of like completely blind, I would say. That's the best way to do films, for me. Not all the time. Obviously, we know some of them, like, you know, Mission Impossible and stuff like that. So it seems our vampire is a scientist, and he's kind of, because I was listening to the police. The police were talking. I assumed it was the police. I don't know who it was. Discussing his background was interesting. There were 6 women, I think, vanished, but this latest one apparently he will be very interested in. Why? Apparently she was bringing a rare geranium flower, and they think he'll want it. And I was like, what? A flower? So we're in the trailer part. So if you watch the trailer, there's this bit with Mother Riley doing some sort of dancing with some dude. That's the guy who she's owed rent to. It's like owns the shop. And then they got the other 2 women at the back prancing around doing some dancing thing. And one of the women on the right hand side is in a lot of Carry On films. Hence the reason why it's called Carry On Vampire. If you don't know what Carry On film is, just look it up. There's Carry On Camping is a favourite one. Carry On Doctor. They're all kind of a bit risque. Well, not bad, but they're just very innuendos. I'm pretty surprised they've been banned in this world, that we're not allowed to say anything. So I literally saw them dancing and singing about the rent. It's like a musical. like she's singing. Mother Riley's singing. It's not Mother Riley. It's a male, but yeah. When you watch it, you think, is that a male? Yeah, it is. It's Arthur Lucan. Was I kind of hoping that the film wasn't a full musical? It's not. Now I love this cop. I don't know his name. Is he come up on the IMDb listing? PC Freddy. Yeah, be Richard Wattis, possibly. I don't know. I couldn't tell you the life of it. But basically, he's chatting to Tilly, the maid, outside the vampire's house, and she says, "Oh, they're all loopy in there. He sleeps in a coffin in his bedroom." And he says, "Well, my aunt sleeps in a rocking chair. Each to their own." I'm thinking, yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. Poor vamp. So he was so looking forward to his robot arriving. His face all lit up. He was smiling. He was ready to open his box, his crate. He was like, "Yay!" There was a mix-up with the crates, but he was like, "Yay! Here it is, my robot. I've been looking forward to this." And then he was just like, "What the hell's this?" And he says, "What's wrong? Am I going insane?" And he looks so sad. It's so funny. But anyways, talking to the robot via VoIP. He actually says, "Connect to me via VoIP." VoIP. I thought it was like a modern thing when you're gaming. I didn't realise it was actually a thing back in the 50s. But the robot's cool. But it's nothing like the one from the Space series. I don't know the name of it. Was it Lost in Space? That might have been the film. Let me have a look. It's been bugging me when I've been watching the damn film. But Lost in Space. Yeah, it is. So in Lost in Space, if you watch it, there's a robot. I don't mean the remake, I mean the original. There's a robot with some sort of thing on his head. It's not like that, but it looks quite decent. But it's a bit of comedy, because there was a bit where the robot was taken for a ride with a drunk guy. It's just like, what the hell am I watching? And then Mrs. Riley was being seduced by the vampire, and she's quite smitten with him. She's like, "Oh, he's so nice, he's so beautiful." The other way round. But I think Anton's a bit tapped in the brain, if you know what I mean. And he kind of laughs like a hyena. It's just so weird. So weird. Now, the drunk guy and his wife, right, have turned up at the police station reporting their car stolen because the robot drove off with it. So he opens a bottle of wine. He says, "You can't drink that here." And he says, "Can't I? I'll have a jolly good try, wacko." Yeah, that made me chuckle. I was enjoying that. Apparently it's not the flower geranium either. I found out towards the end. It was the element geranium. I was like, okay. But he did say the flower, which confused me at the beginning. Fight scenes in the 50s, jeez. So there's the fight scene with Riley, Tilly, and all the others was a bit chaotic. There was all the whoops and whistles whenever anybody threw anything. So somebody threw something, you had whoop, whoop, and woo, woo. And it's like, I don't want to see that or hear it. And then driving a car. From a distance, it looks like a real car zipping along, but when you're actually inside, it's bleeding obvious you're not in a car. Especially the one that Mother Riley's driving. But then she went onto a bicycle, which was the same thing. From afar she was cycling, but up close it was obvious. Then she went on a motorbike, all within the space of this race. Well, it's different, I'll say that. A bit slapstick in parts of Mrs. Riley. The rest has slight humour, but still serious. Now, I've watched a black and white film. There was a comedy stroke horror, but that was like 2 films. This kind of worked, I suppose. I'll give it a 4. I think at the time it would have been higher, but we've come a long way in films, so there you go. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed watching and listening to this film review of Mother Riley Meets the Vampire. Give me your thumbs up if you liked the video. Leave a comment below. Have you seen this? Have you seen the other Mother Rileys? There is a few of them. Please subscribe to my channel. Got plenty of other film reviews. Quite a lot of black and whites. You might be able to find something you like there. Okay, well, thank you and goodbye.